Today's dedication is for Terax, who gave me a very generous 1 year's worth of subscriptions on Patreon. Krenko versus Helena and Elena. A one-lander? Nope. Into another one-lander, at least we've got Jeweled Lotus here, but yeah, that's still not good. We've got Mass Hysteria at least, we'll try it. Funny that we've got Goblin Ringleader and Goblin Recruiter in hand already. Let's just get rid of the Beetleback Chief. Don't draw a card on turn 1 in 1v1, get down the Mass Hysteria and the Jeweled Lotus. Up against E-Manny, friend of the channel by the way, I've just noticed. So we're a bit of a glass cannon here, swinging in and putting the first plus counter on Krenko. We just need to hope that our opponent can't deal with the Krenko at this point. Should be quite difficult outside of a Lightning Bolt with a Gruul deck. And just playing a tap land. No land for us, so there's absolutely nothing we're doing here except turning in sideways, which is typically what goblins want to be doing anyway. And into a Farseek, so should be able to get down the commander next turn, you would think. And more card draw in the form of Thrill of Possibility this time, but again, missing a land. So yeah, again, turning in sideways, we'll get the third plus counter on Krenko on turn 3. And we're swinging in with 5 goblin tokens as well, we'll make even more here. Could be a chain reaction or something like that, could deal with us here as well, or a blasphemous act even. Plenty of ways for our opponent to pull out of this. Just getting down the commander, and it does have haste. Okay, another goblin, a Conspicuous Snoop. So we're just turning everything in sideways again and hoping that we can outrace our opponent. Our opponent does have 40 life to start off with, I've pointed out regularly, but just in case anyone doesn't know, we're in the multiplayer room here against one opponent, which means it's multiplayer rules, and starting at 40 life as opposed to 25 or 30, whatever you would normally start at. So deciding to block a goblin token and then pull back. Yeah, I don't think our opponent took down a token then, so going down to 11. Now a War Room as well. And that is a Loyal Guardian, so we're going to be putting plus counters on each creature. That makes it much more difficult for the Krenko to be swinging in now. Let's see what we draw into. Still no land. But at this point I think we're going wide on our opponent anyway, so just turn everything in sideways. There's no lifelink or anything to worry about, so we'll make even more tokens outside of a board wipe. If our opponent survives here, we'll be able to go wide next turn anyway. So yeah, get our opponent down to -1. Just dumb luck that we were able to actually land our commander on turn 1 with haste and then managed to just keep hitting over and over again. Very much a glass cannon here, so we'll try again, see if we can get a more reasonable game going. Playing the same decks again, but we're nowhere close to getting our commander down as quickly here. We've got Bitter Reunion we can give haste with, but that's mainly for the card draw here. We'll keep this. Okay, if we're going to be curving out here, do we want the Mass Hysteria in play after all? We've just drawn into Dark Dweller Oracle. Yeah, I suppose we can go for it. Never know, we might get into a Sol Ring or a Mana Crypt or something. Okay, a Swiftfoot Boots. Yeah, I'm not going to play around the fact that we need Hexproof. I'll just get down the Dark Dweller Oracle. And that is a 2-2 with haste, so swing in for a shock. Ha, that's funny. We're probably going to get taken down by a Krenko Tin Street Kingpin. Although it is noteworthy that we've got the Brightstone Ritual here. And that does count every goblin on the battlefield, so drawn into a land, play that. And then we can play and equip Swiftfoot Boots, maybe? Yeah, do that. And we might as well swing in with both. I suppose I could have held back the 2-2 to try and block the... Yeah, probably should have held back the 2-2 to try and block Krenko, so that it doesn't completely go off here. But it'll be funny to get beaten with our own commander. I'm just going to chump block with the Goblin. And in comes the commander, so there's now 5 goblins being held back. And a 5-6 Tin Street Kingpin, so holding back the 2-2 doesn't help anyway. We will just chump block. And a Goblin Matron for us. They do control a mountain, so we could go for the Goblin King. If we had a bit more time, I'd stack the top of my library with the, well, we'll play it, and I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, like I said in the previous game, I would stack the top of my library with Goblin Recruiter, and then play the Goblin Ringleader to get all the stuff into hand. but we've got a bit of a ticking time bomb going here, so let's go for the Goblin King for the sake of Mountain Walk. We can always chump with a token and Goblin Matron, but I dare say the Halana is going to outpace us anyway with this Krenko, because they'll be able to go wide with the tokens, or we'll be one. That's, yeah, that makes it relevant that we got down the Swiftfoot Boots then. Counters being dumped on Krenko, as you would expect. That goes up to a 7-8. And damage being dealt to the Oracle, we might as well just sacrifice it for the fun of it. Hope that we don't sacrifice and exile something relevant. I don't imagine we're winning this one. Okay. That's actually a pretty good one that we're losing out on. The Goblin War Chief. We'd have needed to play another land in order to get this and the Goblin King into play anyway. So now the Krenko puts counters on itself and gets the Matron out of the way, so we're running out of chump blockers. Block a token, chump the Krenko, and there is a Skirk Prospector, just too late unfortunately. So we'll go Goblin King, and that gives our Krenko +1/+1 and means that it's unblockable. So I'll just turn it sideways for the fun of it. It's noteworthy that it is a world ability, so it's giving Mountain Walk and +2/+2 to all the goblins in play, which means I imagine we're done for next turn. So let's go Skirk Prospector. We've only landed 4 points of commander damage here. Sacrifice these Goblin tokens in order to make some mana. Could sacrifice the Goblin King, of course, to make it so that our opponent's stuff can be blocked, but not that worried about it here. Play the Ringleader, see what we get off the top. We get a Siege Gang Commander and an Aki Battle Squad, which we're nowhere near either of. We wanted some cheap goblins there really, but none of them were going to be relevant here anyway because our opponent's got us. So the counters continuing to go over to the Tin Street Kingpin. All will be one, sees that and triggers, gets rid of the Prospector. Why don't we sacrifice the Goblin King just for the fun of it. That does mean that there's a debuff here, so we'll be able to survive. Maybe we can get into a Wrath or something, but I don't imagine we're doing much of anything here. I imagine our opponent's got us. Our opponent's going to be able to get rid of the Ringleader with the tokens or the counters that go on Krenko anyway, so all the blockers are going to be out of the way. So that does mean a big debuff and we'll be able to survive here. And all will be one is just going on to us. So chump block the Krenko with the Goblin Ringleader, and we go down to 20. There's a Rish card to make the plus counters be able to tap for mana. Just doing it to some dorks, and that is a couple more pings from the All Will Be One, and able to tap for more mana because these came in this turn and everything has haste anyway. Where are we? An Invasion of Zendikar. When it enters the battlefield, search for 2 basics, put them into play tapped. Turns into a Vigilance Haste 4/4. Alright, let's see if there's ever going to be anything we could do here. You see a pair of goblins is... yeah, just a couple of goblin tokens. So let's play the Bitter Reunion just for the fun of it. Get rid of the Battle Squad. Gets us into a land and a Sword of the Animist. So let's go for +2 onto our creature's power. And it's not just plus counters Krenko cares about, it is his power, so we'll swing in here and make some more tokens. And we'll see the Krenko die to blocks, I imagine. So we're going to take down 5 token goblins. Now escape to the wilds and our opponent's turn wants to see more cards. And we saw there a couple of lands, already played them. E-Witness, a Hidden Nursery, and a Soul's Fire. The commander going on to Krenko again, it's rinse and repeat here. All will be one, hits us directly, and if our opponent goes all out, we'll just take the damage here. Alright, just going in with the Krenko. Does this have trample now or something? I mean, I suppose they can cast the Soul's Fire. Does that go on? Yeah, that's any target, so got us regardless here whether we block or not. And yeah, there we go, casting it now. So 14 damage from the power goes to our 12 life. And our opponent wins this one, so yeah. If you like Krenko, Tin Street Kingpin, then this is the video for you apparently. Fun little exhibition match, or a couple of exhibition matches before the new set releases, so hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one. I'm tribalkai. Thank you for watching.